Hi guys, I'm back. I'm finally doing the video that I promised. This is the first of four. There's a 5 set before about achieving the impossible. I'm finally making it, so sorry for the delay. I just couldn't fit it in. There was Canada Day and a lot going on, so I couldn't get it in during that time, but here I am. Have you ever desired something so passionately but felt like it was impossible to achieve? Come to the right place. Today I'm going to talk about achieving the impossible and the first step of it, the timeline of achieving the impossible. Success or achieving the impossible thing never ever happens overnight. You might hear stories every so often about, I don't know, maybe somebody being discovered as a musician or an actress or a talent, or someone just being hired off the spot in a position that you wished for your whole life that you could be in. But those things don't often happen. If you look around your circle, at your immediate friends and the people in your life that you come across on a regular basis, who you find are either successful or have achieved what you believe is impossible, you would see that none of it has happened overnight. In fact, it probably didn't even happen within a week or 2 weeks or a month or even a year, right? This is what people think that achieving the impossible looks like. And this is what it really looks like. It takes months and months, sometimes even years and years, or in my case, even decades, before you can get to where you want to be. In the case of achieving the impossible, the reason it seems impossible is because of the amount of time and or the amount of effort and work it requires to achieve something that is seemingly impossible. For example, if someone wants to lose about 100 pounds, they're not going to go to the gym, walk on a treadmill for 5 minutes, get off and weigh themselves and expect that they're 100 pounds less, right? Sometimes they might have had to start the summer before to get the summer bikini body that they want for the next summer. And they'd have to work out every single day, watch what they eat every single day to get there. So like I said, it could be different for everybody, the impossible which they want to achieve. For some people, it could be weight loss or weight gain, getting that perfect body which they think is the most beautiful on themselves. For others, it could be getting on a plane and going on that vacation that they've always dreamt of, saving up for the airfare, for the hotel, finding the right people to go with, or getting the courage to go by themselves. For others, it could be climbing the corporate ladder, getting into that CEO position of that company they've always dreamt of leading. For some, it might be finding the right partner, getting married, getting settled down, having children, buying that new family house, etc., 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 right? For me, it was writing and publishing my books. And I kid you not, the process took 17 years. Almost 2 days. My books was something that I didn't even think was ever possible. Didn't even dream of it to begin with. I wrote my first book, Sunrise Sunset, which had a completely different title at the time, actually, when I was 15. To me, at that time, writing was merely an escape. I wrote, created characters, created a whole different world, interconnected my world with that, and just wrote anything that came to mind, and it turned into a story. Had I not let a couple of my friends read the books and a couple of the teachers read it, I would have never even considered someday publishing it. But it was when I let them read it, and this was 17 years ago, that they suggested, just planted that little seed in me to even wonder if it would be possible in the future. I didn't think it was possible, but I wondered. It made me think it could be. Fast forward 17 years later, after changing titles, changing characters, settings, a whole lot of things about the book, and even the cover several times, it's now finally launching. I can't say that if I had known how much work it would take, that I would have actually even wanted to do it. But the reality is, if it's an impossible dream and you really want it, if you truly, truly desire it, there is no easy way. So if you look at some of the greatest names in history, you would see that they have stayed the course, practiced over and over again, stayed disciplined, and done things repeatedly, even to the point of tediousness, to get the results that they were looking for. For example, Michael Jordan said, "I've failed over and over again, and that's why I succeeded." Now, certainly it took him a time period to attain the skills that he have, or even build and grow the skills. And during those times, he's tried several times and failed before he succeeded. One of the greatest leaders of the world, Nelson Mandela, was imprisoned for 27 years. Now that's an extreme, but it's still a very long time to hold on to a dream or to come out and be able to do something great as he did and lead South Africa. So some of my favorite leaders are actually from the Bible. One of them being King David. He was anointed to be king between the ages of 12 to 15. And the time that it took from the anointing to the appointing of kingship was 15 years. Another one is Joseph. He had a dream that he was going to lead all his brothers and he was going to be above all of them. And he was a boy at the time. But between then until the time he actually rose to some power, it had been 13 years. During that time, during those 13 years, he was sold into slavery. He had been in prison. And then he came into power. Now, I'm not saying that all these drastic things would happen before you get to where you want to be or you achieve what you believe might be impossible. What I'm saying is that it will take time, and it will take consistency, repetition, sometimes even doing the tedious thing over and over again for a long period of time before you get to where you want to go. But you have to know whether or not you're serious about this dream, serious enough and passionate about this dream, and actually want it to come to pass. Because if you really want it, you will stay the course. So that's it for today. That's all I have for you guys. I hope it was informative, and I hope it opened your eyes up a little bit to give you a little bit of courage to stay the course if you have been on the course for a long time. Even if it's been years, I hope that you don't decide to drop out on a dream. I hope you come back again for the next video. This will be next week. I said it will be daily, but I realized it would be more helpful during the beginning or middle of the week. So it'll be next week, and it'll be about healthy habits towards achieving the impossible. See you then.